All right, notice it says this graph shows a relationship between the number of hours and a business operates and the total cost of electricity. Okay, so we have H and C. And notice that you have here, we have the H and we have the C. They didn't put Y and X, they put that. And what are they asking us to do? Find the constant of proportionality. Well, if you remember, that's going to be the Y over the X. It's the same thing as unit rate. Y over X. And then we're supposed to enter it as an equation. And if you remember, we used to do this, Y equals KX. Well, now what they're asking us to do is put it like this. They're saying C equals R and H. Okay, so we don't want to do this one. We don't want to do that. It's like this. We're going to use the letter C and the letters H. We're not going to use X and Y. So I don't know why I even put this like this, but I did. Okay, so let's see. First of all, you have to find points on the graph that the line crosses. Well, look, it crosses there. Oh, this is easy because look, every intersection there. See that? So I can use any one of these points. Any one. Well, I'm going to go with the smallest number. So I have this one right here. For this point, it is, I have a 95, and then I have the 1, right? So it's going to be 95 over 1. Now, they're not using C and X. They're not using Y and X. Instead, they are using the letters C and H. Right? That's what they're using. So when we write our equation, we're going to use, okay, I'll use some colors here, but you don't have to. So we have C equals, now I'm going to use 95 over 1, which is this 95. And then I have the letter H. I'll just put the blue in there just because I have a color. And that is your equation right there. That's it. C equals 95H. That is what you enter. So if I look down here, look down below, notice they don't even have a Y and an X. They have a C and an H. So I'm going to say C equals 95, and then H. All right, so that's why it's good to use these variables instead of writing on your own. Now let me go ahead and enter that in. Let's see if that's correct. Oh, hold on. Okay, it is correct. I'm just not going to prove it to you, but it is correct. All right, let's look at the next one. Very similar to it. Very similar. Okay, this one here, it says the linear graph shown, linear means a line, straight line, is used to determine the cost of a cell phone plan. And so what do we have here? Here's the number of cell phone calls, and they use the letter N, monthly bill, and they use B for bill. What are we supposed to find? Determine the constant of proportionality. And then enter an equation, but the equation is like this. Remember before we'd have Y equals KX, and this is the constant proportionality. Now what they want you to do is write it in the form of, use these variables, B instead of the Y, because B is right there, that's bill, and then N instead of X. N is for the number of cell phones. All right, so we just have to figure out the constant proportionality and put it in there. And the constant proportionality is Y over X. So now let's find an intersection. Wow, that doesn't look like it's quite on. It's really hard to tell. Sometimes you'll just have to make the picture a little larger. Let's see what happens if I do that. Okay, maybe you can see it a little bit better. Okay, it didn't. Okay, that didn't work, but here, I got back to where I was. So it may be hard to tell, but as I'm looking through it, this is not 1. That's not 1. No, 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 that's close, but not quite. This looks like it. Right there. That's the only one that's really right on. I mean, this looks close. Sometimes you have to magnify it to tell, but that's it right there. All right, so what numbers is that? That's 220 for the Y part, and then for the X part, it's 5, right? So it's 220 divided by 5. Okay, now you can reduce that, or you can just leave it like that. But remember, so what do I want to do with this? I want to take this and put it in there, right there, for my constant of proportionality. We're not putting it like this. We're using these letters right here, these variables. Okay, so we can use either one. We can use 220 over 5, or we could just use 44, because 220 divided by 5 is 44, if I put it in there. So, okay, I'll just use 44, just kind of speed things up a little bit. That is my answer. So I take it down below to enter that in. B equals 44n. And I have to get out of this writing mode. Excuse me, right here. Here we go. B equals 44n. B equals 44. And why is there no n? Why is there no n here? I don't know. That's wrong right there. So I'm going to type in the letter n and see what it tells us. Ready? Because I think that's a mistake. B equals 44n. And now I will submit it. And what does it say for us? Correct. B is 44n. It is correct.